Morning. Thanks for your time last week. It was great to get all your feedback. And today I'm going to be focusing on 4 areas. One is the current roles that we're working on, give you a bit of an overview and a snapshot of those. And those of you that are interested, you can apply online via the website. And all the roles are being pushed out across LinkedIn by the consultants at F1. But I think it'd be useful to give you an overview and some reassurance that there is hiring going on at the moment. Secondly, the competency-based interviewing online video. We've been asked a lot about that, so I'll touch on that briefly. Thirdly, on our returners, a bit of a shout out for some help for online mock interviews for them. And finally, a couple of words about good corporate citizenship. It's been really interesting over the last week seeing what level of person our companies, not necessarily our clients, but companies are actually letting go at the moment, not even furloughing, but actually letting go. I think like a couple of minutes on that as well at the end. So first of all, good news. We managed to secure a role in digital marketing for a senior practitioner yesterday to join one of the Premiership football clubs. It's the Premiership football clubs, as we all know, don't rely on footfall for their income. And digital, the tech side is still they're still hiring. So that was a really good success story yesterday. It was a 6-figure salary, so we're really pleased for that candidate to have managed to help them get that over the line, particularly in the current market. Sticking on that sports theme, current role with a leading comms consultancy, their sports team. They have a need for an associate director, 85k. It's working on the leading global lifestyle brand that they look after. It's a primarily comms, PR, social media content role. Sticking with the sports theme, we're working for an educational comms consultancy that do a lot of purpose-led work within the global sports governing body community. So anyone that's interested in education and sports and comms, it's a 45k account director level role. Sticking with the comms theme and agency, there's a really interesting number 2 role. And when I say number 2 role, this is a number 2 role at a more junior level. It's 45 to 55, 60 absolute max level it's a tech consultancy that have started up their consumer arm. Now, we placed the person that's starting up their consumer arm 7 years ago. She's a complete star, and the job is working as her number 2 as she builds this practice, and it's backed by a bigger tech company. So it is an investment hire. They will go ahead and hire, and it's right for somebody that's got about probably 5 or 6 years experience. Although we're not stuck on experience level, it's the person that's the most important thing. They need to be driven, they need to be ambitious, they need to be really good at client servicing, because the MD is going to be doing the business development and building the client base, and this person needs to be a brilliant client servicer that can work on their key clients, but they're supported by their parent agency. We are looking for 2 directors, one to run the lifestyle team and one to run the entertainment team of an owner-managed consumer brand agency. Now, just a point on owner-managed agencies, these are the sort of markets that owner-managed agencies do really, really, really well in, because they are not really answerable, well, not necessarily answerable to shareholders. They're not, they haven't got the complications of being owned by global organisations where actually the budgets aren't necessarily managed at local level. So these 2 director roles, again, they are business critical roles. They will hire for them. They're both at 6 figures, and as I said, one on the entertainment, one on the lifestyle team. Moving on to public affairs and corporate affairs, again, another fast-growing owner-managed consultancy looking for an associate director with corporate affairs and public affairs experience, also looking for a digital director. The first role is at about 95k. The second role, the digital, will go to 6 figures, but they must have had digital experience in a corporate environment. It could be in-house, but it must be They must have had experience in a corporate comms environment using their digital skills. And then a really nice in-house role working for a kids entertainment brand. It's a PR marketing manager, about 45 to 50k, with a leading kids entertainment organization. And then moving on to freelance work, an architect firm that is looking for a PR marketing manager for 2 to 3 months, probably from now until the end of July. Could look at 3 days a week. And we're shortlisting for that at the moment. And then a PA crisis management role for a leading corporate comms consultancy. So quite a broad range of roles. Clearly there are more comms roles around at the moment than there are marketing roles. I believe that will change, but at the moment, yes, we are seeing more comms roles, social media content, than we are marketing roles. Now, moving on to online interviewing, I've been working with a number of SPADs, special advisors that are leaving, have been leaving Whitehall in the last 6 months. And one of the comments they made to me was that they haven't had that much interview practice. They spend a lot of time setting up interviews for ministers, but don't actually do loads of interviews themselves. So we've put together a crib sheet. It's on the website. Email me and ask me for it. It's something I put together myself. Around competency-based interviewing when you're doing it online, and there are some different techniques that you can use when you're doing online video interviewing as opposed to doing things face-to-face. I had a CEO say to me yesterday he's completely bought into doing online interviewing now, because when he used to have people in face-to-face, he would almost feel obliged to do an hour and a half interviews, and you don't need to do an hour and a half interview in a first meeting. 35 minutes is absolutely fine. So I think these online interviews tend to be a bit shorter, so you've kind of got to get to the point a little bit more quickly than you might have to in a face-to-face interview. And then finally, or rather penultimately, the returners, a shout out. We are trying to look for mock interview opportunities for our returners. We didn't manage to get to the speed dating event in on the final day of our Back to Business Ship programme. We've had an amazing offer from somebody that's a commercial director in a sports, for a sports channel actually, and he is going to dedicate 2 hours of his week next week doing some mock interviews with some of our returners. So anybody else out there that preferably works for a brand, we've had quite a lot of volunteers from the agency sector, but if you're working for a brand and you could give us some time to mock interview some of our returners, absolutely no obligation. We're not looking for you to hire them. We just want them to get some practice. Let me know. And then good corporate citizenship. Wow, this has been quite interesting to see which companies are furloughing people and which companies are actually letting them go, i.e. making people redundant. And one of the younger members of my team has set up a spreadsheet, and she is keeping a record of everybody we hear from that has lost their job, been made redundant. And this varies from people that their jobs have been pulled before they even started, which means they're completely left in limbo because neither the new employer or the old employer is offering to furlough them, to people who've been in their jobs for 3 months, people who've been in their jobs for 1 to 2 years. But the really interesting thing is they tend to be between 25k and the 50k level. So account exec level to senior account director level-ish. And these are the people that over 16 years, whenever I go and see clients, they always say to me are the most difficult people to find for their agencies, particularly agencies, but also in-house as well. You want good people that have been well trained and are looking for their next step up, that have perhaps got 1 to 2 to 5 to 6 years experience, that will stay with your company and will develop with your organisation. These seem to be the people some companies are letting go. Now, I have a very, very small percentage stat at the moment, but we are keeping a note of that, and clearly want to help these people find roles when the market picks up, and we'll do everything we can to find them short-term work in the meantime. So look, that's it for me today. Have a great weekend, and I will catch up with you all next week. Bye.